what I see in Caitlin Clark's jump shot, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a two-step jump shot, and the way she skips into it,
Mm-hmm.
I can really appreciate.
This isn't just some casual basketball fan tossing out highlight talk like it's a podcast clip for easy views. This breakdown is coming from a 56-year veteran of the game, someone who grew up playing in West Philly, someone who's been in real gyms with real hoopers, and who knows what elite looks like when it's right in your face. And he's not doing the usual she's special speech either. He's dissecting what separates Caitlin Clark's shooting mechanics from almost everybody else in pro basketball. And the point he's making goes way deeper than most people realize.
There's only a few people I've ever seen to do it and really get it right.
Right.
Durant tries it, but doesn't look smooth as when Kobe Bryant does it, or
Mm-hmm.
the way Peja Stojakovic used to do it.
Because when you watch Clark pull up from 30 feet like it's a layup, something very specific is happening in less than a second, and it's the kind of detail defenders feel in their chest before they can even explain it. He's talking about a two-step jump shot with a skip entry. It looks smooth enough to fool your eyes, like she's floating through the shot, but it's not magic, and it's not luck. It's a sequence. Catch, rhythm, load, rise, release. Stacked so tightly that the defense is always half a beat late. That's why it can look like she's breaking the laws of physics when she isn't.
But Caitlin Clark does it so smoothly. I'm talking about where there's a little skip right before her feet plant,
Yeah.
and she brings the ball here, and it's here before her feet actually leave the ground.
She's just operating at a level of timing most shooters never reach, and she does it so casually that people miss how rare it is. In about 0.8 seconds, she's already collected the ball, set her base, found her line, and launched before the contest even gets organized. Then the veteran drops a comparison that makes people sit up straight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a two-step motion with a gooseneck release. Kobe Bryant, there's only a few people in history that can really get that two-step jump shot.
He's name-dropping Kevin Durant and Kobe Bryant in the same breath as Caitlin Clark, and it doesn't sound like hype when you hear the logic behind it. This is film study talk, frame by frame, because there are only a handful of modern players who can execute this exact footwork pattern and make it look natural.
She also has this thing she does when she flicks.
Mm-hmm.
She has several different releases. I don't know if people are paying attention. And
Durant can attempt similar actions, but the rhythm doesn't always flow the same way. With Kobe, it looked like poetry. Every movement connected like it was one sentence. With Clark, she's doing a version of that at 22 in her rookie season, with the kind of fluidity that usually takes elite scorers years to sharpen.
her skill set is like no other. I've argued with people about Asia Wilson, and
Right.
there's no way possible that she has anywhere near the skill set Clark has.
The key detail is that little skip right before her feet plant. That skip is the sneaky ingredient. The ball is already rising toward her set point before she even leaves the ground, which means she's not loading after she jumps like a lot of players do. She's loading as she's entering the shot, which steals time from the defender without looking rushed. And no, you can't just teach that in a weekend workout and call it a day. That's thousands of reps until your body stops thinking and starts reacting. Most players never develop that kind of tight rhythm because it takes years of trial and error, missing shots, adjusting balance, and repeating until it becomes muscle memory. Now he gets technical, but the details actually matter, so don't tune out.
He's gonna do a 1-2 step. A little fake, 1-2, bang, bang. And then shoot it, okay? That's the 1-2 step.
He's talking about the right leg landing slightly in front of the left, feet slanted, and multiple release points. That's not extra. That's the whole advantage. Those are mechanical edges that let Clark shoot over defenders who might be taller, quicker, or jumping higher. And he makes a comparison that helps casual fans understand it without getting lost.
This is the 1-2. She had the 1-2. She did the 1. She caught the ball on the 1. The 2 is coming. Once that 2 come, boom.
He brings up Aja Wilson, dominant MVP level, a nightmare in the paint. But he's not saying one is better than the other, like it's a silly ranking debate. He's showing how different the skill sets are, because Wilson operates through size, touch, angles, and footwork near the rim, while Clark operates in space with range, handle, vision, and that lightning-quick shot sequence.
Here go another one. Little fake, 1-2, popping.
You can't guard them the same way, and that's the point. Teams build completely different game plans for Clark because her mechanics and range force defenders to pick her up way farther out than they want to. You're not just defending a shooter at the line, you're defending the threat of a shot from 27, 30, even 35 feet, and that warps the floor like a magnet.
All right, so watch this. She's crossing over. Watch the legs. 1, 2, and I hop with it.
Here's where the breakdown gets really interesting. The veteran says most people see the shot go in and think it's just confidence. But he's saying the confidence is built on something mechanical. The 1-2 pattern with an extra rhythm step that gets her into her pocket fast. Watch the sequence the way he describes it. Catch, 1, 2, hop, and the ball is already up.
And I hop with it, okay? This is what he's talking about. And it's real smooth. It's a small thing on the mechanics, but it's real smooth.
It's not a standard hop like a lot of shooters use on pull-ups. It's not a simple gather and rise. There's a rhythm switch in there that buys separation and messes with the defender's timing. That tiny fake before the 1-2 is crucial too. It freezes defenders for a split second, just enough to make them hesitate. And hesitation in basketball is deadly, because while the defender is deciding drive or shot, Clark is already going up. The ball rising to the set point during the hop, rather than after, shaves time off the release. That might sound like nerd talk, but in real hoop terms, that's the difference between a clean look and somebody getting a fingertip on the ball. 1/10 of a second is everything when you're shooting into traffic, especially in late game moments when the defense is locked in and tired legs make recovery slower. Then he points out what defenders hate most, the stutter skip rhythm. A lot of players go one dribble, gather, hop, shoot, predictable. Clark goes stutter, skip, plant, gone. In real time, it can look like a travel to people who aren't used to it, and defenders can even react like it's illegal because the rhythm is unusual. But it's not about tricking refs, it's about tricking timing. By the time a defender realizes she's actually shooting and not still gathering, the ball is already leaving her hand. And because she does it from deep range, the defender's panic gets even worse. Now they're sprinting at her from farther away, arriving off balance and contesting late. And here's a detail that makes this even more vicious in the WNBA context. The three-point line is shorter than the NBA line, but Clark is regularly pulling up from NBA range anyway. So defenders are guarding a shot they don't even see as normal in their league spacing. A lot of defenders are trained to think, that's too far, she won't shoot that. Clark does it anyway, and she does it with mechanics that make it fast and repeatable. That changes how defenders behave. They start leaning early. They start jumping at the wrong time. They start guessing instead of reacting. And once a defender is guessing, the offensive player is already winning. Now he shifts into biomechanics, and this is where it gets sneaky smart. Feet slanted, hips opened, shoulder line cleaned up. This is not random style. This is engineered efficiency. When your feet are slightly turned away from your shooting hand, it helps open your hip, which makes rotation into the shot pocket quicker and smoother. And it naturally aligns the shooting shoulder, elbow, and hand toward the rim. That alignment is everything. If your feet are square but your body wants to rotate, you end up fighting yourself. Extra motion, extra tension, extra time. Clark's slant reduces wasted movement, which is why her shot looks simple even when it's coming off a complicated dribble. The right leg landing slightly forward is connected to that slant too. For a right-handed shooter, that front leg positioning helps stabilize the base, especially on lateral movement shots. When she's fading or drifting, that front leg acts like a counterbalance so her center of gravity doesn't go flying. That's why she can shoot while moving and still keep the ball flight consistent. This is where the veteran draws the line between good shooters and great shooters. Good shooters need perfect conditions. They need set feet, time, balance, and space. Great shooters can shoot off rhythm, off movement with a hand in their face, and still keep the core mechanics intact. Clark's low jump style is a perfect example. A lot of casual fans think you have to jump high to shoot over defenders, but the veteran flips that idea on its head. If you need huge elevation every time, you're in trouble late in games when your legs are cooked. Great shooters often use a lower jump because it's repeatable. The release is consistent in the first quarter and the fourth quarter because the mechanics do the heavy lifting, not the vertical leap. He points out Steph Curry as the obvious comparison here. Curry doesn't try to outjump defenders. He beats them with speed to release, balance, and repeatable mechanics. Clark does the same thing. She's not trying to win a high jump contest. She's trying to win the timing battle, and she wins it by making the shot identical no matter how tired she is. Now let's talk shot pocket, because this is one of those details people ignore while it decides everything. The shot pocket is where the ball goes before it rises to the set point. If your pocket is clean and quick, the shot is quick. If your pocket is messy and slow, the shot gets contested. For Clark, the pocket is low and on the right side of her body. That's intentional. It shortens the ball path and reduces the time from catch to release. The veteran explains it like this. If Clark catches on the left side, but her feet are already slanted, she can bring the ball into the pocket with minimal travel. No big sweep across her chest. If her feet were square, the ball would have to travel farther across her body, adding time and adding a chance for the defender to disrupt it. A few extra inches of ball movement might sound tiny, but it stacks into real time, and in basketball, time is space. The quicker that ball hits the pocket, the quicker the shot is gone. Then the elbow alignment comes in, and this is one of the cleanest tell signs of elite shooting. When the elbow is under the ball and lined to the rim, you create a straight path for forced transfer. Shoulder to elbow to wrist to fingers. Any chicken wing or flared elbow adds compensation. Now you're twisting, pushing sideways, or relying on the guide hand. Clark's elbow stays tight enough to keep the line clean without forcing an awkward position. And because her feet and shoulders are already rotated into alignment, she's not fighting her body to keep the elbow in. The alignment happens naturally, and that's what makes it repeatable under pressure. Speaking of the guide hand, the veteran points out another detail most people miss. Clark's guide hand is there for stability, not power. It stays on the side, helping control the ball, and then it comes off clean at release. In slow motion, you can see it. The ball leaves the shooting hand, and the guide hand is already dropping away. That timing is hard. If the guide hand stays too long, you add unwanted spin. If it comes off too early, you lose stability. Clark's timing is crisp, and that crispness only comes from repetition. Years of reps where you learn exactly when to let the ball go and exactly how to keep the line straight. Now we get to the gooseneck release, and this is where the shot gets that soft touch. The gooseneck look is the fully cocked wrist at the set point, then the snap forward with full follow-through. That snap creates clean backspin. Clean backspin makes the rim more forgiving. Shots with good backspin can hit the rim and still drop because the ball dies softly. Shots with bad spin, side spin, wobble, flat rotation tend to bounce out. Clark's ball rotation is tight and consistent. That's why even her deeper shots don't look like heaves. They look like normal jumpers because the mechanics are the same and the spin is reliable. And the veteran says something important here. Clark's percentage isn't just about taking good shots. It's also about making hard shots playable because her mechanics are elite enough to survive difficult conditions. She can take shots most coaches would call wild for the average player, but because her base, pocket, and release are so consistent, those shots become part of her real scoring menu. Then he talks about multiple release points, and this is where scouting gets annoying for defenses. Clark doesn't have one single release that defenders can time like a stopwatch. She can shoot higher when she's open, quicker when she's pressured, and lower and faster when she's pulling off the dribble. That versatility is brutal because defenders can't just memorize one contest angle. They have to read her in real time, and reading her in real time is already hard because she's a threat to pass, drive, or shoot from way outside the normal comfort zone. This is where the A'ja Wilson comparison matters again, and the veteran uses it in a smart way. Wilson is dominant, but her dominance comes from a different ecosystem of skills: post-touch, strength, positioning, footwork, and control around the rim. Clark's dominance comes from range, gravity, creation in space, and mechanics that make deep shots fast and repeatable. So when people argue, who's better? They're missing the main point. The main point is how Clark's mechanics force an entirely different defensive map. You get traps 35 feet from the basket. You get defenders picking up at half court. You get help defense leaning early. And when that happens, the whole floor opens for teammates because the defense is terrified of a pull-up. That's what elite shooting mechanics combined with deep range really does. It doesn't just score points. It bends the defense like metal under heat. And if you're watching with educated eyes, you can see the mechanics driving the chaos. So the real question becomes, can this be taught? Or is it something you're born with? The veteran gives the honest answer. It's both. The footwork patterns, the pocket work, elbow alignment, wrist action, those can be taught and drilled. You can train them, correct them, and refine them. But the rhythm, the timing, the feel of when to use the 1-2 skip instead of a standard hop, that's the part that's hard to copy. That's instincts built through thousands of hours, experimenting until it becomes second nature. You can't fake feel. You can only earn it. And that's why Clark's mechanics stand out so much right now. She didn't just wake up shooting like this. She built it brick by brick since she was a kid. And now it's showing up on the biggest stage with defenders trying to take her head off and still arriving late. She's not just a good shooter. She's operating in a rare tier of shot creation mechanics that shows up in every era and in every league when a true outlier arrives. If you can spot the 1-2 rhythm, the slanted feet, the quick pocket, the clean elbow line, the guide hand timing, the gooseneck snap, and the low jump repeatability, then you're watching the blueprint of why she gets those looks off when it feels like she shouldn't. That's what separates Caitlin Clark from just another deep shooter. And it's why defenders look stressed before she even crosses the logo. It's the details. The invisible pieces most people miss that stack into dominance, and once you see them, you can't unsee them.